Are Chiefs fans wrong about adding a veteran wide receiver? We're going to talk about that. How we doing, ACU crew, Chiefs Kingdom? Roll on in here, baby. Roll on in. Hit that like button. Get this out to more people. Today we're going to talk about, are we wrong as fans about the Chiefs bringing in a veteran wide receiver? Because that seems to be the popular opinion anyway. Everyone thinks it's going to happen, but maybe we're misreading it. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the guys that are being rumored to come in if they were to do that, which is Tyreek Hill, Stefon Diggs, Keenan Allen even. Many more. We'll talk about all that good stuff. Shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. We'll have more on them here in a little while. Mike, how do you think we're looking at this thing? You think we're looking through the wrong lens, or do you think the Chiefs actually want to add a veteran wide receiver?
I mean, from everything that we're hearing and reading, it seems like they're interested. I do know. I mean, they did add somebody in the draft in Cyrus Allen. A lot of people thought we were very much interested in, say, Jordan Tyson at number 9 or whatever, and that didn't seem to be the case. So I do think they're interested. I think they're interested at the right price. Is it Juju coming back? Is it Tyreek Hill making a return? Could it be a Stefon Diggs or a Keenan Allen? I don't know. I think that the Chiefs are monitoring a few situations. It wouldn't surprise me if they're not monitoring Tyreek Hill and monitoring Stefon Diggs for sure. I think those are probably the top 2 candidates. And it wouldn't surprise me, but what I do know is Brett Veach is going to construct this roster the way he wants to do it. He's going to pay the money he wants to pay, and either Tyreek Hill and Stefon Diggs are going to play ball and they're going to play for our price and play by our rules, or they're not going to be here. It's that simple.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Keenan Allen, we can take that big lump of trash and just throw it to the side.
I've not understood
why
the
hell
Keenan
do we
Allen
want
hype.
Keenan Allen? This dude's
Yeah,
48 years old. He's been a giant prick to the Chiefs his entire career. Why would we ever want him here? I'm good with it.
I've never been a fan of that one.
Leave that out. Just put that to the side. Tyreek Hill coming back, that's the popular one. Obviously, it's a little emotional. Like to see Tyreek back in the Chiefs uniform. A lot of people didn't necessarily like the way that he went out with the trade and all that, and they think they could get him, back playing around, November or something like that, coming off this knee injury, which I have no idea. I don't know the timeline that he has. I don't know if he has to have anything else done to the knee. But then again, he's got to play on the cheap, right? About the one that makes the most sense is Stefon Diggs. Now, y'all talk about all the off-field troubles. All that's been squashed to my knowledge. And then other than that, I know the fan base hates anyone that even remotely is considered a diva in the wide receiver room. We saw that with the A.J. Brown conversation we had a couple of weeks ago. And, I mean, they're similar. Like, is Stefon Diggs a guy that's going to come in here and be okay with getting 6 targets in a game? Or is he going to have a hissy fit? I don't know. It's not 100% there. What I do know, Albert Breer is talking about it. He brought it up again today. He said it makes total sense for the Chiefs to get Stefon Diggs, and he thinks that they could get him on a short-term deal, which that's what they do. They get these guys. He's on these little mercenary deals, 1 year, 2 years. They did it with Hollywood Brown. They've done it with MVS, whoever. They just try to bring them in here, use them for a little while. Stefon Diggs is going to be a next level of that, and he thinks you could get him for $8 to $10 million. If that's the case and the Chiefs can weasel it out, I'm not opposed to that one. I think that makes the most sense. And, of course, Tyreek would be the most warm and fuzzy inside.
Right. Stefon Diggs, I'll address that one first. I think Stefon Diggs wouldn't be good or bad. Like, I'm very just on the fence with Stefon Diggs. If they want to bring him in, I'm fine with it. I trust Andy Reid. Look, Stefon Diggs can be vocal, but Andy Reid knows how to handle big personalities. He's done it time and time again. That doesn't scare me. I don't think he comes in and just ruins the locker room vibe. I think if he tried to pull the same crap he pulled with the Eagles, Andy Reid would squash it a little bit, probably a little harder than even you've seen Sirianni try to do it. They just, like Sirianni was trying to let A.J. Brown just kind of coast and do whatever. I know it's 2 different players, but still. Stefon Diggs doesn't even feel like he's as much of a diva lately as A.J. Brown has been. So it is what it is. I'm whatever on those two. I could take it or leave it with Stefon Diggs. Again, it's up to Andy Reid and the Chiefs. If they think that he can help, and if you can get him at a 1 year, $10 million, you can get that. I would be fine with it. I'm not mad at it. I think with the Tyreek Hill one, I think that's the most sentimental one. Like, who doesn't want to see Tyreek Hill coming back into Arrowhead and throwing up peace signs for a few years? Like, we all want that. Who doesn't want it? It would be fun. I think that now, I think his agent and everything, Drew Rosenhaus, they've kind of come to the conclusion that a lot of people are waiting to see what's happening. I don't think people's going to throw big bucks at him. Tyreek Hill's already got a big amount of money. He went and signed with Miami, took the bag over what we give him. So
he's not going to get a big amount of money coming off that knee injury.
No, he's not. So at this point, it's like, look, he puts the ego on hold. He comes back to the Chiefs. He rights a wrong. He comes home. He tries to win a couple rings. He's playing for legacy now. Maybe his top speed's gone. We don't know that. Maybe the ability for him to win in a phone booth is gone. Maybe he's not, causing defensive coordinators nightmares all the time. Maybe that's gone, but maybe it's not. I do know one thing him and Patrick Mahomes had, and that was a very good a repertoire and a good comfortability with each other to run that scramble drill and to do the things that Patrick Mahomes in this offense loves to flourish at. And right. I don't know if Stefon Diggs offers you that. So for me, if I can get Tyreek Hill for maybe 2 years at $10 million, maybe $4 to $5 million a year, a lot of heavy incentives, $4 to $5 million a year, somewhere in that ballpark. I don't know if he'd sign for that, but if you can get him to sign for what you want, I would much rather have Hill over Diggs, but I do think Diggs would offer more immediate, maybe Diggs may offer a more immediate help, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, Tyreek Hill, let's start with that. I think likelihood's probably about 35, 40% that he'll be back in a Chiefs uniform, which is probably generous, to be quite honest about it. Like you said, the most sentimental, the most emotionally driven one of the bunch. But here's what I wrote down, why it would make sense if Tyreek Hill were to come back to Kansas City. Number one, you kind of touched on this, instant chemistry with Patrick Mahomes. You know it's there. Number two, he knows offense. He still changes coverage even if he's lost a step. They still have to, even if he's lost a half a step or a whole step, Tyreek Hill's still one of the fastest guys in the league.
Right, he's still
They have to account for him, right? And then he also gives Mahomes that panic button, deep threat type deal that he's always done. And he's been more reliable at it than anybody the Chiefs have had so far. Why it might not happen? Injury, age. That's becoming real concerns with Tyreek Hill. They already drafted speed and explosiveness with Xavier Worthy and everybody else. Maybe they're not worried about that speed right now. They might not just want to disrupt anything that they have going on with Xavier Worthy or Shee Rice. Maybe they think that they like that dynamic and they want to see what Chad O'Shea can do with that. And I mean, typically they avoid the nostalgia signings, but they did it a couple times with some guys that weren't as good. Like we just talked about, Derek
each of them
Nottie,
love the
McCole
nostalgia
Hardman.
signings, it seems.
You think they do, but the only two that they kept doing it to were Derek Nottie and McCole Hardman.
Man, that's enough.
I mean, yeah, but what
Well,
what
yeah,
did
I
that
will say
do?
that. They didn't really bring back Willie Gay when people was wanting it and things
Right.
like that. So
I will say that, the reunion talk is heating up big time amongst the fans and everybody else. So, I mean, that's definitely going to be there. I think Tyreek Hill's only going to be able to demand somewhere between $6 and $10 million for a 1-year contract. That's about the max he's going to be able to get.
yeah, it's definitely max. I don't even know if he gets there. I was estimating somewhere between 4 and 6. So
Yeah, 10 would be the high side. I think 6 probably makes the most sense. But, I mean, even at 80%, if you have 80% of prime Tyreek, then the safeties back off. Worthy's going to get easier looks. Rice is going to get lighter boxes. And Mahomes instantly is going to be more explosive in the passing game. I mean, it's all there is to it. Stefon Diggs, what do you think the likelihood is of them actually signing him? Because I think it's actually higher than Tyreek. To me, there's a lot of smoke with this, and it's coming from a lot of insiders in the league. And it kind of makes sense when you really think about it. I think I'm probably looking at a 45 to 55%, like somewhere in like a 50-50 range.
I would put them both somewhere around that 50-50 range. I think there's one that they got above the other one. I think maybe right now they're playing on the Stefon Diggs thing. If they can get him for a year, maybe they let Tyreek kind of sit on the back burner, see what he can do with that injury. Maybe not. Maybe Tyreek is the guy. Drew Rosenhaus had just talked on, Pro Football Talk on NBC Sports. He was just on there a few weeks ago, and he asserted that Tyreek Hill is on track to start 2026. Now, I don't know if he's just saying that to try to get him a contract or what, but he's saying that Tyreek Hill is healing. He is on track, and he will start 2026. I think that's yet to be proven, and I think that's why Tyreek Hill's still sitting there. There was an anonymous who was it? Jason Lockenfora had an anonymous NFL GM actually tell him this. Let me find it.
What a slap net, though.
If he can't take the top off of defense anymore, what are you going to bring him in for? I think he's going to have a long wait. He's a no-go for me and my team. So that's what an anonymous NFL GM told him. No, we don't know who that is. That could be the Carolina Panthers for all we know. But the point is there are some concerns that he's not going to bring, get the top off the defense, and he's not doing that. But I'll say this about Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs isn't known to be that explosive, take the top off of defense. He's known for those dig routes and ins and outs and the little things. Like he primarily works the middle of the field a lot. I wonder if he kind of, he's in Kelsey territory in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he brings you elite route running. He brings you the chain moving ability.
He does. We grabbed us an elite route runner, though, so do they want to keep putting him in there? I don't know.
I mean, he would kind of be, like, you kind of hit the nail on the head. He'd kind of be a Travis Kelsey in the wide receiver room, sort of. Like, just a reliable guy. Third down trust.
He's working that field,
just throw it out to, stuff like that. Dude, my nose is itching off. These Kentucky allergies are out of
They've been brutal,
control.
Man. It's been brutal.
Yeah, I'm about to move like tomorrow. It's getting wild. I want to bring up this two-bomb from Can I Pet That Dog? It says Debo's the most versatile, and we love versatility. Debo to me is kind of like, you want to talk about lost a step or kind of lost his glare. I feel like Debo's kind of like disappeared into the oblivion the last couple of years.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he did a whole lot last season. I like Debo. Debo's okay, but I just don't know if he moves the needle enough at all. To me, he's like Rashee Rice, basically, right?
I'm not. Well, I mean, he is versatile. You can line him up in the in the backfield. You can put him just about anywhere. Like
you can do that, but I feel like they would probably just use him if they were going to have Debo.
Wasn't it just last year he was coming into camp like overweight and everything, or was that a few years ago? I don't remember.
I don't know, but we were talking about the Antonio Brown thing the other day, and you were like, well, I mean, Rashee Rice already does a lot of the routes they'd probably ask him to run, right? I think it's the same thing with Debo. Like, you can move him around, but I feel like really if he was in our offense, he'd kind of just be running those quick slant routes and things like that, trying to get yak.
Right. I'm going to be dead honest. I haven't heard a single thing about the Chiefs' interest in Debo Samuel.
No, that's the one name I haven't seen.
I don't know if that's a fan narrative that they're wanting him and
maybe
whatever. It could
they're
be.
They're throwing a smoke screen. They're talking about all these.
I'm not seeing anything. The only people I've ever seen interested in Debo over the past few weeks has been the Chargers, who wouldn't surprise me. They just want to keep loading up. I've heard the Bears are interested in him. I've heard the Colts have been kind of interested in him. So,
yeah,
I've not heard a single thing about the Chiefs.
I wouldn't be
Debo
mad
Samuel.
at that. I wouldn't be mad at Debo for the right price. I mean, I don't dislike the guy. I think he's good. Stefon Diggs, I think, like you said, I think he probably offers you the most immediate help. But obviously you got your downsides too, the personality concerns, target share. Like, what's the expectations? Is he going to come in here? Like I said, it takes 6 targets and not throw a fit. Is he going to accept being a part of the whole machine and not being the machine, right? Like that's the thing that you have to worry about with people like Stefon Diggs. And I just don't know. I said we throw Keenan Allen out, but can we just talk about that for 1 second, just in case there's somebody out here that thinks that's a good idea?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, here's the thing. As much as I dislike the guy, super savvy route running veteran, right? Like he's a guy that could be a reliable, like, chain mover. That's about all you're going to get from Keenan Allen these days. And I think that's why the Bears went and grabbed him once they got Caleb Williams, because it's like, hey, let's get him like a security blanket. Obviously, it didn't help him that much in that rookie season. They didn't keep him but for 1 season. I mean, he's got great hands. He's got high football IQ. He's competitive. I mean, that's one good thing I can say about him. He's highly competitive. But this dude's just old, right? Like, how old is Keenan Allen now? 48?
He's getting he's like 62 or 63.
He's slower. He's not explosive.
I'm not doing that. I would rather bring back Juju Smith-Schuster than this guy, honestly.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. Because, like, you're looking at the Chiefs offense, which is normally built around speed. And then you're going to have Papal out there running a 5.8 second 40-yard dash or something. Like, that ain't going to work. He's going to stick out like a sore thumb. So I just think that one's probably out the window. But yeah, you guys let us know in the chat who your favorite option is. We had a poll up we don't have it up on the live stream, but we had one up on the community page. Just trying to get a feel for what everybody thinks. I thought it was interesting because I don't think anybody's going to click on Keenan Allen. But I wonder what Stefon Diggs and Tyreek Hill is going to look like. Like maybe we should put that poll up in here just to kind of get an idea real quick.
Yeah, throw it up.
I'll do that. Let me put that poll up in here because I kind of want to see. Like to me, I feel like it's probably a good 50-50 split. Even though I think Stefon Diggs makes more sense and he's immediately ready to go, I think there's a lot of people that really like Tyreek Hill. Obviously.
Yeah. Well, when I seen it earlier, Diggs was. I think a lot of people maybe think Diggs is the more immediate impact help, guy. So it wouldn't surprise me if Diggs is close. Diggs was up early. Here's what I'll say. I think Diggs is getting. There's some smoke to Diggs in Kansas City right now. I've heard the Commanders are in with Diggs. I don't know how much they're in on it, but I've heard that they're in on it a little bit. He does have some ties to the area. The Falcons wouldn't surprise me. A Falcons or a Rams, those two teams would not surprise me. So, I'm not 100% sure. And at the end of the day, I'm not even so sure that the Chiefs.
That's what I'm getting ready to say, brother. You're getting ready to have a hot take. And I'm kind of right there with you. I don't think the Chiefs are going to add one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if the Chiefs feel like they need to add one. Now, if they could get one at a good price, I think they'll absolutely do it. But I don't see Brett Veach paying more than what it's worth. I don't see him going out of his way to free up money to do it. He's going to get a guy that could come in and play and fit a role and do what he has to do.
Right.
And again, I think that they feel like they got somebody in Cyrus Allen that can do similar things to Stefon Diggs. He can win one-on-one routes. He can get himself open. He don't have the speed of Tyreek Hill, but like you said, we've got a lot of speed on this team. Thornton's pretty fast. They drafted Xavier Worthy.
A lot of pretty fast. He's 4.2.
Wasn't Jalen Royals 4.2?
No, Royals was 4.3. But I mean, there's still. He might have been 4.4 flat. I can't remember. But Tyquan Thornton was a 4.2.
Not that much difference.
Like no, there's not. There's really not a whole lot of difference. A lot of speed. That's why I said Keenan Allen doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Shout out Forever the Two Bomb says we need Cam Jordan. Maybe. I think we'll get to the defense here in just a little while, Fred. But yeah, I mean, we'll talk about Cam Jordan some. Mike kind of mentioned him the other day. I think Mike's on the same side of the fence as you are as far as that goes. I'm not opposed to it, but appreciate the two bomb, brother. Let's really dig into this real quick, though, Mike. The Chiefs, like us as Chiefs fans, I think, like I said, the consensus across the board, if you start getting on social media or even read through comments on YouTube, I think everybody thinks the Chiefs are going to add a veteran wide receiver. There's been other creators that have had videos talking about how they have a hunch they're just going to do it. And they might. But let's say that we're all wrong about this. What if we're all reading it completely wrong? And they're not going to. They don't care. Maybe all the roster moves are done. Maybe they don't sign anybody. Maybe they're convinced that Rashee Rice is going to be their number one guy. Maybe they think Worthy is going to be, explosive this year. He could finally have his breakout year. He could be healthy. Maybe they think Royals is going to develop okay now that he's going to be on the field more often, I should say, or at all. I don't think you can rely on Kelsey still being there. I mean, this is his last season, right? But for all intents and purposes, this is Kelsey's last season. So I don't think you can look at Kelsey, 37, 38-year-old tight end, and be like, well, we don't need a veteran receiver because we have him, But I think that the Chiefs could already think they've touched on receiver enough. Like you said with Cyrus Allen. Like, hey, we went and got a guy that runs routes good, creates separation. We already have the fast guy with Xavier Worthy. We got Rashee Rice, who can be our number one guy. We got Jalen Royals we can bring in. We got Tyquan Thornton that can run that MVS role or do many other things that we want them to do. Maybe they don't think they need to touch it at all.
I mean, they spent money this year on it. Tyquan Thornton was the signing. People wanted the Carnell Tate. People wanted this.
Is there anybody on that roster? Is there anybody on that roster? Anybody on the roster that makes this team right now, as we said, that will go in there and do the dirty work like Juju Smith-Schuster? I don't think we have anybody like that.
With a wide receiver specifically?
Yeah. I don't think we do.
No.
That's like a weird little role we're missing.
Maybe Jalen Royals can adopt that. Who knows?
Potentially. I feel like he's more of a explosive yak guy than anything.
He is, but I mean, he's got a big enough frame. He ought to be able to lay a block or two.
Stefon Diggs, he blocks well, right?
Are we sure that we even really need that, though? Like, are we changing our philosophy a little bit, though? You think maybe they're going to switch the wide receiver philosophy from what we think we know over the past few years, bringing in Chad O'Shea? Maybe they're going to try something different this year.
Well, I don't think they've had a philosophy at receiver over the last few years.
No,
it's been an absolute
kind of been
mess.
Open, huh?
Yeah, it's been a mess. Like, I think that's been one of the big problems with the offense. Our wide receiver room has been an absolute catastrophe. Like, they've added to it, and we have guys that are promising. Worthy and Rice, and we even had Hollywood that everybody was excited about, and none of them are bad, and I don't think any of them played bad per se, but like there was just like no cohesiveness in that room for the last couple of years. It's just been weird.
Yeah, I'll look up some numbers. I'll look up some numbers on Jalen Royal, see what his blocking efficiencies look like.
Yeah, well, what about Stefon Diggs too, as a veteran receiver that we could bring in? What's his blocking like? I mean, I don't watch enough Stefon Diggs to tell you what he does. He might be a guy that could do something like that. I'm not for sure. That's a possibility. I mean, I know he's a highly competitive guy. He might get out there and get his nose dirty. I don't know. We'll see. You can look it up. Where's Ian when you need him? You know, Ian, look it up.
Well, I will say this. So if you go back and look at some of the things they wrote about him coming out of college, and specifically just look at blocking, it says this: Royals plays hard, willingly blocks without the ball. He is comfortable initiating contact. He takes good angles. He shows zero hesitation when asked to do any of the dirty work on the perimeter. He could transition the receiver to a lead blocker. Scouts indicate that his actual technique is inconsistent. He does not really rely on textbook mechanics such as hand placement or sustaining blocks, and he sometimes relies heavily on simply running at the defender. But because of his size and willingness to mix it up in the trenches, he projects as a player who could successfully execute crack blocks, screens, and perimeter run blocking, though his NFL blocking efficiency will depend heavily on coaching and development. So that was what they said of him coming out of college. So, I mean, that sounds like there's something to work with.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's something to work with. I don't know if you bring in a player specifically. I don't know if you bring in a receiver specifically because you need a receiver to block on the perimeter.
No, but I think that's like something that you want in their game.
Absolutely, but you teach that. They learn that. You don't go pay a.
You're going to teach a young guy that, but
I'm not going to go pay somebody just to come in and be a blocking wide receiver. No, he was taught that somewhere else by an actual receiver coach before he come over.
Right, and they brought him in and used him exactly so.
Exactly. So maybe O'Shea can teach them how to be actual blocking receivers.
Yeah,
maybe
we'll
they can teach him something.
He needs to teach him some separation, and then we'll start worrying about blocking. Let's do that.
Well, exactly my point. I don't think that you're worried about a receiver being able to block as top of your priority list here.
Yeah, real quick, the poll. If you guys haven't voted on the poll, do that. We only have 50 people vote on it so far, but 61% to 39%. Tyreek Hill, that far above Stefon Diggs. So
yeah. Does that line up with the poll we ran on the other page that went nationwide, or are we just going with all the people in the chat right now? Just a bunch of Tyreek Hill fans here. I'm just talking about the one
for the chat, dude. That's what I'm looking at.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm curious if it lines up with the overall poll we ran.
Well, while you're looking at that, I want to shout out Brian Parrott. Happy birthday, brother. It's his birthday today. It's also my 5-year-old son's birthday. We had a good day today. So shout out those two. And then I saw somebody else in the chat. Who was it? I wish I could find it real quick. I don't want to leave you hanging. I think it was like Chiefs 12 or something like that.
About 1.5 thousand votes, and Tyreek Hill's up 42-28 over Stefon Diggs. 18% says neither Hill nor Diggs, but still bring in a wide receiver. So 18% say Keenan Allen or someone else.
That's crazy to me.
Well, I guess maybe they're including, your
Deebo
Samuels and everybody else.
Yeah, Chiefs fan 12 says that his boy's birthday was today too. So happy birthday, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's see here. Let's get Flapjack. We got Flapjack in the house. Let's see what he's up to. He says, can someone tell me how none of these tight ends on the team haven't beat out a 40-year-old Travis for the damn job? Andy being faithful to Travis is crazy. I think it's weird that they haven't brought in somebody and gave him a bigger role yet. Like knowing Travis Kelce's on the back end of his career. I don't think Kelce's had his moments, don't get me wrong. But I think overall, I don't think Kelce's played bad enough to be like, get him off the field. Like he needs to go. Or anything crazy like that. But I do feel like they should have been like preparing someone else to take over there. And they just haven't. They've just left it hanging. Unless they're sold on Noah Gray. Because they did re-sign him, but I mean, they re-signed him they extended him for 3 years, right? That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, this is coming up contract year already.
So that's wild to me. I don't know what they're trying to do with that, if anything. But yeah, I don't know. Well, whatever. I guess Tyreek Hill is going to be the one that most fans are wanting
That
back.
makes most sense, though. It's nostalgia. I think a lot of people still believe he could come in and be that field stretcher and all that stuff. But I think he's got a lot more chemistry.
I 100% believe that Tyreek's probably got a lot of gas left in the tank if that knee injury isn't like a career ender type thing where it's just not going to be right. Like maybe he comes back and he re-injures or something like that, then okay, I kind of understand. But I mean, I just don't see how Tyreek Hill can go from being as effective as he was in his career to just nothing. Like, unless it's an injury thing. I don't think it's going to make him be that slow. I don't know. Seems weird to me. So I'm okay with it. Also think that Stefon Diggs makes a lot of sense for the team too. But right now, Mike, I think I'm leaning more towards the fact that they're not going to do this with anybody. Or we could wake up tomorrow and they could have Stefon Diggs on the team. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just keep going back to Nate Taylor. Apparently, he's supposed to be smart. He's supposed to be in the room with him. He says 50 to 60% Tyreek Hill. So I don't know if that's true, but I mean, you almost have to take his word for it. He's one of the only people that's in the room with him. Well, he's not really in the room. Like, it's not like Brett Veach is running by his
I don't think he's even anything. I mean, he works for ESPN, I think. There's a lot of,
I think he's got
a lot of people on
contacts.
ESPN that say a lot of wrong things.
Yeah, that's true too. But I'm just saying, like, if anybody would have contacts to know, if he says 50, 60%, that's a lot. That's a big number to put on your name.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like, I don't think that matters to him.
Maybe it don't. Maybe it don't, because
right?
if they don't sign Tyreek Hill, ain't nobody going to go back and be like, Nate Taylor, you lied to me. Like,
it's like Nick Wright saying that. Like, oh
Yeah.
yes, the Homer said that.
Nick Wright just kind of says what he wants, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Appreciate y'all being here. Do us a favor, hit the like button if you haven't already. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you should totally do that. I want to take a quick second to shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. You can get down in the description, click that link, get Prize Picks, and use code HMA when you're signing up. Mike, why don't we put a couple of entries in for the people?
Let's go. Let's do a few entries here. Travis Kelce. We're going to do some touchdowns for the season.
More.
Travis Kelce at 4. I'm taking more on Travis Kelce at 4. I'm not for sure what he had last year, but I'm going to take more there.
He had more than 4.
I'm going to avoid Puka here. Let's just run
Puka's
over to Jordan
a wild
Tyson.
card, yeah.
Yeah, let's go Jordan Tyson. 4.5. Do you think he plays enough games? Do you think he stays healthy enough to have 5 touchdowns this year?
That's a really...
I'm going to say less.
You're wild. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm not wild because he's missed over 40% of his college games. Nothing tells me it's going to translate over to the NFL any differently. And so I'm going to go less there. And Carnell Tate, I can't do more on this.
Just grab Jamar Chase and put more. 9.5 touchdowns.
You think he's going to have more than 9.5?
Yeah.
We've already did Jamar Chase before, though. You want to just keep doing the same one over and over?
Has he ever not had 10?
I'm not for sure what he had last year.
Oh, well. You pick what you want then, brother. Let's go.
I'm going to go Mekhi Lemon. I'm going to go less on that one, too. I just don't think rookies are as effective as we think they are.
All right.
Let's go less on those. And we'll see what happens. We'll submit this bad boy and go. And you guys can follow along with us at All Chiefed Up. If you sign up, use code HMA. You can actually tell our picks during the season. I would come more listening to football stuff than basketball and other things that sometimes we dabble with in the off season. Steve, I will say this, had some big wins, with some basketball stuff, some WNBA, if you will. Don't know how. Don't even watch it.
You just always have to put the more on whatever it says about Caitlin Clark.
That's my strategy.
That's the best strategy.
That's my strategy.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, guys, get in the comments. Let us know what you want to talk about. We'll give this back half of the show to you. You can lead the way. You can drive. That's cool. I know Fred was wanting to talk about Cam Jordan, Mike. He said that he thinks Cam Jordan is a must for the Chiefs. You mentioned the other day that you'd love to see them add him. I think I'm okay with it too. And here's why. And it's nothing to do. I don't think Cam Jordan's this game changer or anything like that. But Cam Jordan's a guy that's 38 years old. He's played a lot of football. He still had 10.5 sacks last year. But I kind of miss the days of having that old trusty vet that can rotate it on the edge and can be a coach on the field for the guys on the defensive line. Because I thought it was effective for us. It's been effective for us every time we've done it. We went away from that. We started, re-up in Mike Dana. We start bringing Charles Omenihu in, stuff like that. It's like, that didn't do anything for us. I think maybe we should go back to that. Like, I'm okay with it. I think it would be a good idea.
Yeah, me too. I've really rubbed a few people wrong talking about the defensive end position this offseason.
Why?
I don't know how or why, but it has rubbed people the wrong way. Like, a lot of people think that my cautious approach to R. Mason Thomas at being a 238-pound pass rusher in a defense where Spags routinely don't play that, and or can he set the edge early in downs? And I'm not saying he's not good or anything else. People don't like that. Like, I either have to take a stand that he's a Pro Bowler or I think he's a bust. And I don't have that stand. My stand on R. Mason Thomas is this. I think he could be a very good football player. I think it's dependent on how much his usage is. Can he be able to set the edge? Can he give you something in the run game? Because if he can't give you anything but a situational pass rush, then I don't know if we got any better. Peter Woods is another one.
Let's stick with our Mason Thomas. If he's only going to be situational, if he's only coming in on third down to rush the passer, he's not going to put up that many stats. Like, he has to prove himself as a run defender as well.
Yes, because he has to get more.
If he can't be on the field 3 downs, then, that takes away opportunities tremendously.
Right. And so my whole theory of, I don't know if Brett Veach fixed the defensive line as much. Well, then people come back and they don't like that. And then they say, what about Peter Woods? I like Peter Woods too. He was maybe my favorite player in the draft. Love Peter Woods. Now, Peter Woods is dependent on now that you got a defensive tackle that maybe you slide him out the edge and maybe he works, maybe you don't. Maybe he's just moving all around the line. Not saying he's not going to be good either, but again, these guys have got years to grow. You can't just say, we drafted 2 guys. We're going to be good this year. We drafted 2 guys on the defensive line last year. How'd that pan out?
Right, well, you can't even say it's bad. It's like Omar Norman Lott was actually coming on a little bit, got hurt, right? So it's
coming on a little bit was he got 1 sack, and then he got 1 sack.
Okay, 1 sack. So if we're going to be the sack counter, if that's all we're counting on a football field, then sure. He looked pretty good out there.
He didn't even play enough to say that he was good or bad. But I'm just saying, how did the immediate going and drafting 2 guys help in developing wins or losses last year?
It doesn't, because they're not going to do it immediately. Unless you're able to pull in a Myles Garrett or an Aiden Hutchinson, you're not going to have that.
What gives you a better chance of having a effective and immediate impact with something that you struggle with, which is getting after the passer? It's to go spend a little bit of money at the position.
Of course it is, but Cam Jordan's not just going to blow the top off of your defense.
Cam Jordan had more sacks last year than anybody on our roster.
10.5. That's what I'm saying. He can do it. He's going to contribute. But
I'm not saying that Cam Jordan's the end-all be-all, but I'm saying that would be nice. I would take a Cam Jordan. I don't even know how many sacks he would pull in this year. I'm just trying to say this. You can have a stance that you are glad that R. Mason Thomas is here. You are glad that Peter Woods got drafted. But I'm not going to put all of our problems on those 2 and say that it's now solved. Because everybody thought getting Ashton Gelati early last year in the 3rd was going to be great. And everybody thought that getting...
He's going to be fine.
Omar Norman Lott at the end of the second one. You're
just
fine, but it didn't pan out last year. Why are we not hearing that? They were not effective last year.
I guess I can't get in the headspace of thinking that that's what's supposed to happen. Like, I'm with you.
How's it not?
I'm with you. I don't think that anyone that gets drafted in the 3rd round is supposed to come in and be some game-changing edge rusher.
Okay,
that's
exactly.
insanity.
So you are with me. So what I'm trying to say is if you want to fix a position, relying on the draft is not that. Now, down the road it could be, but immediately it does not necessarily mean it's going to help. That's all I'm trying to say. And that's why I'm on the fence with it.
I think they added to it. I think they were trying to improve the defensive line through the draft, but I'm with you. It's not like they went out and got a proven guy.
No, to me, those moves last year and these moves this year is to fix the future of the defensive line. But immediately, we still need some help.
There is nothing you can do immediately. The only thing you can do is sign Cam Jordan, and that's it.
And that's why I think that would be a good move right now.
I think it's a great move, more so for the fact that it's a coach on the field. This guy's done it so much. And we have a lot of young guys, dude.
Dude, let's have Cam Jordan teaching Peter Woods off the edge. Let's have Cam Jordan teaching Ashton Gelati from last year. Let's have Cam Jordan teaching R. Mason Thomas a little bit. Bring in a guy that can do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think we even put this on Chris Jones. Like, him and George are the only two, like, vets in the room now.
Yeah, dude. I do think the defensive lines are going to be improved. I think you have a lot more darts to throw at it right now. I mean, we've kind of padded it up. There for a minute, the defensive line was looking pretty thin. But now you got a lot of guys there. Because after they drafted Lott and Gelati last year, they went and drafted Cam Thomas. Or not Cam Thomas. Why can't I get that guy out of my head? He will never leave.
But you love Cam Thomas. He's like your favorite player ever.
R. Mason Thomas.
Wait,
it's funny because it doesn't matter who we're talking about. Somehow it gets twisted to that
like
idiot.
Tracy.
To that guy that I never. No, that's the funny part is I never liked him, and he never even played for us. Like he was.
I don't even know if he got a snap, did he?
No, it's insane. But for some reason, it doesn't matter who we're talking about, whether it's Cam Jordan or R. Mason Thomas. It will always go back to Cam Thomas.
It's always Cam Thomas right now.
Anyway. My point was Peter Woods, R. Mason Thomas this year. That's 4 dudes, just boom, 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 right in 2 years, right?
Yeah.
I like the darts that they're throwing. I think there's a lot of good players with a lot of potential. But
I agree, man. I agree. Perry in the house. Perry, our boy, with 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate you, Perry. Hey, is this a new little graphic they got up? Look at that little gift next to Perry's name. Has it always had the little GIF next to it?
I thought it did. Maybe
not. It did. Maybe I just don't pay attention enough.
Maybe it didn't.
I didn't know they were purple either, or pink. Is that pink or purple, or is it purple with a little pink in it? I don't know. Is it periwinkle?
I'm not sure how any of this matters. But we appreciate the 5 gifted, brother. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother.
If you got one of those, make sure to thank him in the chat. And welcome to the crew. Let's go. Let's see.
To the crew.
Somebody said something about wanting to talk. Where'd it go? I lost my comment, man. I should have marked that.
Should have started that bad boy.
I'm bad about not starting it when I see it because I'm like, oh, I'll just go right back to it. No, you won't. You're gonna lose it.
You will. You will lose that.
Somebody was wanting to talk about the offense a little bit. They want to talk about. Here it was. It's I don't even know what that says, but they said I want to learn more about how the Chiefs offense will finally use Brenningstool. Brother.
Royals.
Don't hold your breath.
And
Royals
other talented guys
who showed great promise and hardly got on the field. So Brenningstool's a weird one, right? This is a UDFA. No one drafted him.
Yeah, it's pretty weird there.
I had him as a top 10 tight end in the draft. I think I had him around 7 or 8 a couple years ago. And he didn't get drafted. Chiefs got him as UDFA. We thought he was probably going to make the roster. Got hurt. Is that what happened?
Yeah, he was injured.
So, I mean, Royals to me has a lot more promise, I think. Royals is the guy that, like, hey, he fell to what, the 4th round? This is a guy that could have went in the 2nd round in the draft last year.
Yeah. He was the overlooked, but it was due to injury. And then we seen that play out last year a little bit, maybe.
But either way, let's talk about that. How are they going to finally use these guys? First of all, I don't know if Brenningstool even makes the roster. Let's be honest. Like, we would all love it to have this, pass catching weapon in the tight end room that reminds us of Kelsey. But being dead serious about it, I don't know if he even makes the roster. Royals will make the roster, but how will they bleed him into the offense, Mike? What do you think they do with Royals anyway? Do you think they try to have? Would it surprise you a bit to see Cyrus Allen on the field more than Jalen Royals right off the rip? Like, something about that would make total sense where it's just like, God, are they ever going to play this dude? Like, but how would you bleed him into the offense? How would you bring him in? Just throw him in the slot and let him work?
Royals, I think you can do a lot of things that they were trying to do with Kadarius Toney. I think you can use him in a lot of the ways that you used Sky Moore trying to get him the ball any way you can. Manufacture those touches.
They wouldn't do that with Sky Moore. That's why he failed
Right,
miserably.
but they did that in like camp, and they kept saying this is how we're going to use him this year. And then
They did it for like one game, and he was actually the leading receiver. Yeah.
But they're doing that now with Rashee Rice. You see Rashee Rice line up in the backfield a few times last year. I think he can do that. Like, he is a guy like that. He is kind of a Rashee Rice guy. He's the guy that could work a slot, get open in the middle of the field, yak. He's that. So maybe going after a guy, maybe that's why they wasn't so concerned with getting a Mekhi Lemon and everything like we all thought they maybe should have. They were looking for a route runner, somebody that could get open. I don't think they were sold that Xavier Worthy's been able to get the job done. It wouldn't surprise me if Xavier Worthy don't lose a few snaps to Cyrus Allen if he can come out and play a little bit better. Are they going to commit to Tyquan Thornton long term? Like, is he going to get as many snaps as we think he should get, or is it going to be one of those things where he gets 40 or 50 1 week, and then the next week he gets 20, and you don't know what they're going to do? I think it's all game plan dependent. But Royals could get in like gadgety style ways, I believe, because he does return some, special teams. He offers you that a little bit. But yeah, Royals over Brenningstool for sure. I'm with you. I don't even know if Brenningstool makes the team. Like, he's there.
Might,
he could.
Who knows?
But I'm not saying Brenningstool's anything right now but like tight end 4.
I mean, what else could he be?
Yeah, he's not tight end 1 or 2, obviously. And I would say Jared Wiley is ahead of Brenningstool. He played last year. So I think he's got to be there.
Yeah, I think it'd kind of be 4-ish.
Yeah, like 4 or 5. They got Trey Watson. Yep. They keep signing him back. So
yeah, Mr. Andrews says some tight end better start shining. We need a good tight end. Chiefs have always had top tier tight end. Well, that's the thing. It's like we've talked about this several times, Mike, where it's like, well, the Chiefs are kind of tight end centric. They kind of run their offense through the tight end. That's just how it's been. But is that because that's the way that Andy designed the offense, or is it because they had Travis Kelce, so you had that opportunity? Like, if you don't have Travis Kelce, you don't have to continue to do that.
I don't think they did it as much when they had Tyreek Hill.
No, they threw to Tyreek Hill a lot.
Like you said, Tyreek Hill had over 120 targets or 140 targets.
Yeah,
it was something crazy
right
in
around
1 year.
150. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. So they didn't always run through the tight end, and that's when it became such a danger because you could just always, if anything you got in trouble, then he would just, check down, find Kelce. They would be on the same page, backyard football. And now it became that's all we have. So double, triple team Kelce as he keeps getting older. And it needs to get out of that. And I think that's why maybe they are looking to Cyrus Allen and guys like that.
Yeah. I want to bring this one up real quick. Brandon says, blow me away if Royals and Allen don't get more PT than Little Worthy, who doesn't hold up on an NFL field. Brother, that's a wild take. I will have to say there's no way possible that either of those two get more playing time than Xavier Worthy next year, unless he's hurt.
Well, that would go into the last part of his statement.
But who's to say this guy don't hold up on an NFL field? He was playing with an injury all year.
I mean, he was tough last year. He had that broken whatever it was that Kelce gave him in week 1.
Like,
and he
I
played
know
through a lot of it.
I know where you're coming from, Brandon. I understand what you're saying, and I know a lot of people thought that way because they went and got an undersized, scrawny dude that just runs really fast, and that was. I mean, people predicted it, dude. They were like, this guy's going to be hurt. But, I mean, he showed toughness. He played through it. I think that his actual rookie season on the back half of it, with all the Rashee Rice stuff going on, I thought Xavier Worthy stepped up pretty hard there. Like, did pretty well his rookie season. Last year was a bit of a step back, but that could be a little bit of a sophomore slump. Also, him being injured. I don't know. Could be a breakout year. That's what yours truly saying. It could be a Worthy breakout season.
I mean, 2024, his rookie year, he missed 0 games. He played in all 17 games.
And
all
the
3
back half of that
games.
season, he looked really good. Right after they got D-Hop. D-Hop
Right.
started working with him, and he was looking pretty good.
2025, year 2, he only missed 3. So he's only missed 3 games in 2 years. I mean,
Right.
That's not – I don't think that you can say the guy that could never stay on the field if you've – 3 games in 2 years.
We're just
isn't
projecting a
that
little
bad.
bit. I think we're just projecting a little bit. We'll see how he does, though. John Doe with a 2 says, if Tyreek signs back, Chiefs snatch 10 off of Emmett. Yes, 100%. Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, he would give it to him probably just because.
I don't think he has a choice in the matter.
Probably not. But I mean, Tyreek could come in and say he wants to start over. Maybe he wants something different.
Be zero. Start
Maybe
from
he
zero.
just. Do we have anybody with like number one? Tyreek say, I just want to be. Oh yeah, Xavier Worthy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tyreek, he may come up with something, but if he wants 10 back, he'd give it to him 100%.
Let's
He may
see
buy
here.
it back. May cost him a little bit.
Yeah, Young Native says, I think we're good till trade deadline, then sign Tyreek Hill. I mean, more than likely, that's how that's going to go anyway. I don't think they're going to go sign Tyreek Hill before the season if Tyreek Hill can't play.
I think if Tyreek Hill proves that if he's cleared and he starts doing workouts, he'll be signed by somebody in training camp. He ain't lasting until mid-season.
No, but
If he proves he can play, and if he says he's ready to go by week 1, he'll be doing workouts privately before week 1. He is going to be signed. If they're going to sign Tyreek Hill, it's going to be before.
yeah.
I would say it's going to be before this OTAs at the end of this
Probably.
month.
No problem, Brandon. I appreciate you being here, brother. Love talking to everybody. I would just try to, if you're not big on Worthy, that's totally understandable. I get where you're coming from, but I would just try to look through a positive lens with Worthy. I think that we saw that he's tough. He played through the injury. Like I said, at the end of his rookie season, he started to come on quite a bit, and you were even seeing him do things that you weren't expecting him to do. He had a couple of really nice contested catches against Buffalo, some different things like that. Like, I think Xavier Worthy, he actually proved to be a little bit better of a receiver than I thought he was when we drafted him. I thought he's more of a one-trick pony, just run really fast up the field. But
I think it's safe to say with Xavier Worthy, he's not necessarily played as a first-round pick right now.
well, Mike, we knew that when they drafted him.
Right. We had him graded as a mid-second round pick.
Yeah, he wasn't a first-round pick, but I think they did what they had to do to get him because that's what they wanted.
But yeah, you could totally be down on Worthy. I don't think he's the greatest wide receiver ever. I think he's got a lot to learn. But if he's going to put his head down and work, maybe Chad O'Shea can work wonders. You got to think about it. Every year he's been in the league now, he's had the worst wide receiver coach
Right.
there's ever been.
Well,
possibly.
Brandon also says he just doesn't get separation with his pads on. And you don't feel like he's as fast as he was without his pads. That's
I mean,
true.
that's kind of true.
It's fair because none of our receivers got separation last year. It was the biggest problem we had out there. That's why they went and got Chad O'Shea, because I think they want to change that. I don't know if it's because these receivers don't have the ability to create separation. I don't think they had the know-how. I don't think they were using leverage. I don't think they were setting up DBs. I don't think they were doing any
I don't
of
think
that.
they know. I don't think they know how to run routes properly sometimes.
They don't. I mean, they had a crackerjack box coach out
Yeah.
there.
You literally had some, Dollar Tree special out there in Connor Embry. You could watch, for example, who's the kid that we said was the best route runner that draft when they drafted Worthy
Lad McConkey.
from Georgia, Lad McConkey. Like, that was the guy we liked. We thought that if you wanted a guy that knew how to run routes and use leverage, it was him.
This year it's Jordan Tyson.
And this year was Jordan Tyson. If you went a little bit later in the draft, I think it was the Williams kid out of Clemson. I think he had that.
Yeah. A few years ago, you said Puka.
Yeah, a few years ago I said Puka. I think that who was the kid that 49ers got shot? Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah.
Like, Ricky Pearsall can do that. You got to know how to do it. But if you watch Lad McConkey, if he's running like an inside slant, he will run at their outside shoulder just to get that little bit of hip movement, and then he'll cross their face. You don't even see our guys even set people up like that. Like, they don't even know the small things. And it's like they do know it. Don't think that they didn't get coached at the college level or anywhere, but it's like with anything. Like, I know you guys are golfers. There's probably a lot of people play golf in the chat. Like, me and Steve will go play golf, and there's just sometimes you'll go play golf and nothing's going right for you, and you'll realize that you're just overlooking the most basic fundamental thing, which is just keep your head down while you're swinging. You know what I'm saying? So it's just you get in the rhythm of doing things, and then, like, you'll get in a little funk, and then you just realize, hey, I'm not even doing the basics properly. And I think a good coach keeps you doing those basics. And you've seen that with Chad O'Shea a few weeks ago when they were out on the field. Like, he was coaching his ass off out there. So I'm glad to see it.
He's got a lot of work to do.
I think he's going to do – yeah, and going back, I looked in 2025, Xavier Worthy finished with an average target separation of 1.51 yards. So – that ranked 47th among qualified wide receivers. So he was still right there. If you think about 31 being, 32 being your wide receiver ones, he's right there in wide receiver 2 territory.
Yep. We got T-Mac Dan in the house. Says, I miss having a player like Jerick McKinnon. Yeah, dude. So that's the thing. I think we've had players that are like Jerick McKinnon to a degree, but we just like I feel like we went away from that in our offense because even before Jerick McKinnon, you had Damian Williams, and we passed to him a lot, and he was our three down back. It's just like we don't. We used to throw to Kareem Hunt a lot, and then like all of a sudden we just kind of like took that out of our playbook. Like we don't even throw to. We ran a few screens maybe to Pacheco, but he was never used.
Oh
As
my
a
God!
receiver.
Even when they did run him, like he was turning the wrong way. Remember that one? That was the
Yeah.
most crazy
But
Pacheco.
I will say this. So
Wow,
we've had
bro.
players that are similar to the skill set of Jerick McKinnon with one giant caveat, the pass protection. Like it's kind of hard. McKinnon was a guy with a lot of years under his belt. Very smart, picked up blitzes. Like he knew where to be and he knew how to block. I mean, he helped chip on the edges with the tackles. Like this
Yeah.
guy just did all the basic fundamental stuff. So that's a giant caveat. But I mean, we've had a couple players that have his skill set. We actually had a guy that never even got to see the field. I don't know if he ever made the roster. I think he's always practice squad. Jaron Ely, he was a lot like him. And then now you're seeing it with Brashard Smith. He didn't get used a whole lot last
I think you
year.
got a dark horse on this team right now. I think DeMarcado can do it.
Yeah, dude, there's players that
I
can do it.
think DeMarcado is
Emmett
a
Johnson
very
could do it easy. Like he's a great receiving back.
yeah.
Good pass protector.
He'll
But,
put his
I mean,
nose in there and pass protect too. He'll have to get better at an NFL level, obviously.
But yeah, I do think the Chiefs missed that wrinkle in their offense, though. T-Mac, I think so, 100%.
I kind of wonder what's more missed. Do you
They
think
never
that,
used P. Ryan Witchy.
Right.
They never used him like that. It was weird.
Yeah, they didn't use him enough, did they, Witchy? P-Ron could do that, and that was a good. I thought P-Ron was a good signing when it happened, and then we never really used him the proper way. I'll say this: what is the most? What do you miss the most in Kansas City that you think could get the offense to a next level? Do you think it's having a Jerick McKinnon style back that you could feature more as a third down guy that can pass protect, leak out in the coverage, maybe even carry the ball when you need it there at the end, like he did versus the Texans? Or do you think the fullback role, like that's been a big one too? That's kind of
I think
kind
it,
of
go,
fell
it
to the
goes
wayside.
hand in hand.
Because they do a lot of the same things that
It goes
McKinnon
hand
was
in
doing.
hand. Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, our fullbacks, they ran a lot of routes. They
Yeah,
blocked
they
a
wasn't
lot.
just traditional fullbacks for sure.
I mean, that's what they did. And I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand. I think just overall, the utilization of our run game has been ass for the last couple of years. We don't use it in the receiving game. We don't call on the run when we need to. It's highly predictable. The guy that we had as our feature back was a 7th-round draft pick that had no field vision, no shade. Loved Isaiah Pacheco. I loved what he brought as far as energy, speed, the work ethic, just overall morale and things like that. I loved all that about him, but the kid's not a guy that you're going to put in and run 3 downs in the NFL and be effective. And that's the thing. What have we done for the last 2 years? Pass the ball on first down, run the ball on second down and long. Dude, anyone even that remotely ever watched the Chiefs knows that if it's second and long, we're going to run the ball. And it's going to be some kind of a delayed handoff and get stuffed. It never fails. I mean, it's all over the tape. So I think it goes a bunch of different ways. It's like you have to utilize your run game differently. Like if you're going to run first, run more often. And we went and got Walker, bro. I mean, this guy can do those things. So like, utilize him in every way because Walker can do it all. I mean, he can receive. And you got other guys on here that we're talking about right now that could be doing that kind of stuff that Jerick McKinnon was doing. Highly effective. Another thing that Jerick McKinnon was really good at, guys, and I don't know if we can say any of these other guys are yet because we haven't seen it. He's a scramble drill guy. He got open and was there when Mahomes needed him a lot. Like he knew where to be at. He was a bailout. And you saw a lot of them bailouts turn into little flip passes that went for 40, 50 yards, So, I mean, it's just a lot of little things like that. But I think it's all about the offensive philosophy and how you use it. And we just haven't been utilizing any kind of passing game with the running backs at all. Like almost zero.
Yeah, well, there's a UDFA that everybody's kind of just pushed to the back burner. Nobody's really talking about him. I've heard more talk about Emmitt Smith's son than this kid. But Jaden Ott out of Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
He was a monster at California for 3 years. He had 97 career receptions. He comes over to Oklahoma. He kind of gets buried on the depth chart. He had a little bit of injury concerns, but he played under DeMarco Murray. He was a high priority UDFA for us. Why? DeMarco Murray knows what he's got. He knows why he recruited him from California in the portal to get him to Oklahoma. That kid right there could be a dark horse. To even push Brashard Smith, he could be a dark horse. He's got a lot of intangibles. At worst, I think Jaden Ott probably makes practice squad. If I had to say it right now, that would be the worst I could see happening with Jaden Ott right now. He could be that Jerick McKinnon style kind of guy because he can catch the ball. I mean, go back and watch some of his stuff. Just go back and just look. Go to YouTube, search Jaden Ott, California, and just watch some of the way he used to run. This year, he didn't do too well in Oklahoma. He kind of got buried in different things. It just didn't work out the way he thought it was going to, but I thought he was going to get drafted. Yeah. And he didn't. So I think that was another good one. The Chiefs have done a lot in this running back room, to be honest. Like, even down the board to the UDFAs, they've put a lot of work into it.
He ought not be ignored, right?
Yeah, sure. I was coming up with another one.
We got a 5-bomb from John Doe. Says, if Chiefs miss playoffs again, what do you think would be the issue? Maybe lack of wide receivers? You think Andy would be on the hot seat now Mahomes is in his 30s? So a loaded question here, John. But here's what I would say. If the Chiefs miss the playoffs again, Andy Reid is for sure. He should be on the hot seat almost right now. Like after last year.
Just a little tingly, right?
A little tingling. Like his ass is heating up. But if they miss the playoffs 2 years in a row with Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, you're on the hot seat, okay? Let's talk about lack of wide receivers. I don't think that would be the issue. I think, honestly, I feel like the roster itself, albeit young and inexperienced, I still think they're very talented. Like, there's a lot of talent on the team.
Yeah.
Last year, what you saw was a complete and utter breakdown of coaching. The philosophy, the play calling, the personnel usage. If they miss the playoffs again, it will be more of the same, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think if the coaches do things right, this team's good enough to win games.
They have the talent on the team. They cannot drop the ball like they did last year. And that all it goes hand in hand, right? Because if they miss the playoffs again, it's because the coach. It's because Andy Reid. 100%. Because we blamed Spags, last year with keeping Jamari Connor in the nickel and just poor personnel usage and Matt Nagy, I don't like the way he's calling plays, or Connor Embry couldn't coach receivers, couldn't get, they couldn't get any separation. And then we had Todd Pinkston was our running backs coach. We can't run the football. Who hired all those guys? And who was allowing it? Andy Reid. So, I mean, if it happens again and you don't see an improvement, it falls on Andy's shoulders. So, I mean, I think it all goes hand in hand. If the Chiefs miss the playoffs again, it's going to be because you see more of the same with the coaching failures. And in turn, Andy Reid would definitely be on the hot seat.
Yeah. I mean, but it could have other issues as well. Maybe it could be another bad year for injuries. We've had some bad injury seasons over the past few years, right?
That's true, but I mean, honestly, here's my thing. If Patrick Mahomes is healthy, I just feel like there's enough guys on this team.
Do you think Patrick Mahomes coming back and playing this year, though, and being, say, 80% max at his healthiest? Like, is 80% Patrick Mahomes good enough to at least make the playoffs? It should be.
Yeah, I think so.
Should be.
Mike, we've seen Patrick Mahomes win a Super Bowl on 80% with like high ankle sprains and everything else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it should be. And so you have to get the players in the right positions. You got to make the right stuff. But last year we struggled. It wasn't even just the coaches on the field. Like the front office, Brett Veach had a really bad offseason last year, I thought.
Yeah. Yuck FoodTube said McKinnon had like 9 receiving touchdowns the last 10 games of 2022. Now, think really hard. Is there any receiving touchdowns from a running back that you can remember from last season? I mean, there might have been one, but I don't remember one. Do you remember one the year before that? Me neither. Like, that's a huge drop-off there. Like, that's something that was working quite well, and they just completely went away from anything like that. I thought it was always thought it was kind of weird.
Is it a running back touchdown though? Like the way Jarrett McKinnon, isn't that kind of like that's scheme though more than anything, right? Like that's just a running back leaking out of the backfield in opportune times. Basically, he's not winning routes or doing anything like that.
But it also is about that person too, because like if you had say Isaiah Pacheco who couldn't even run a route that was called,
God, this dude didn't even turn the right way.
Do you think he's really going to be in the right spot as a check down option or a bailout?
It almost just feels like Andy kind of took that out. It's almost like we just did not use the running backs like that. Like they wasn't even trying to do that.
They gotta bring that back, I think.
Do you remember them putting in Pacheco at plenty of times during camp? Not just last year, year before his rookie season. They were putting him out at wide receiver, letting him go one-on-one. You know what I mean?
They
had him.
Yeah.
They had him everywhere, and didn't even run routes out of the backfield half the time. So,
yeah, it's weird. Renee says John Michael Gillenborg tied in, as others are saying. Gillenborg, UDFA. I hope he proves himself in the upcoming OTAs. So I've said this a few times about John Michael Gillenborg. He was kind of a my guy in the draft, and I thought if they were going to take a tight end at the back end of the draft, he was the one I would have took. Obviously, they didn't, and he didn't get drafted, so the Chiefs ended up with him anyway. But here's what I'll say about John Michael Gillenborg. He's not going to be your inline blocking tight end. He's got a lot of work to do there if you want him to do that. But that's not what he is. This is a guy that they're going to move around, and they're going to use him as an offensive weapon in the receiving game. And if he proves himself, Mike, if he proves himself as an offensive piece at receiving the football this offseason, I could 100% see him sneaking onto the 53-man roster.
Wow, Absolutely. You're going there, huh?
If he gets out there and proves himself as a pass-catching option, that's all he has to do. Just get out there and show me that if we move you around this offense and we get you the ball, that you're going to create stuff. That's more than Jared Wiley's ever done. Jake Brenning still has the same opportunity as John Michael Gillenborg. They're very similar when it comes to that.
I was just going to say that. I think Brenning it would be Brenning, John Michael Gillenborg. Those two are pretty much that role.
Yeah. I was saying,
who takes it wins.
Really, either one of those two, if they get out there and prove themselves, I don't think they're caring too much about them being blocking tight ends. I don't think they even signed them for that reason, because they're not that. Like, so they just need to get out there and do what they do. Little gizmo here. Says, what do you think is going to be a harder game, Indiana Jones or Denver? Denver. Now, I will say Indianapolis Colts.
Oh.
So I will say this. Andy Reid has notoriously struggled against AFC South. He really has. Mike,
I think Denver opening the season might be a little worse, obviously.
You know how many games I've been to in Nashville and just had to watch the Chiefs lose to an inferior team?
Yeah, they don't do well. Well,
they got
Cincinnati,
blown out a couple years ago.
They've never won in Cincinnati since like the 80s.
Well, I'm not worried about Cincinnati. I'm talking about AFC South teams.
But I'm just saying, okay, they struggle with everybody local.
They really do. Indianapolis. The only time we seen them beat Indianapolis in the playoffs the year that they finally went in and got the curse out of Arrowhead.
At Arrowhead, yes.
We were there that day. They were out there burning some sage and stuff, I think. But they won that game, and then we saw Nick Foles whoop them up when Alex Smith went out with a concussion.
Yeah. I watched him play a game one time when I don't remember who the quarterback was. It may have been Alex Smith, but Debo caught like that amazing one-handed touchdown in the end zone. Like this amazing one-handed touchdown grab.
I don't think Dwayne Bowe ever played with Alex.
It may not have been. It was either Alex's first year, but I don't know if Debo played there. But I do know Debo was there. He's the one that caught the ball, so I don't know who the quarterback was then. I'm too old to remember that far.
I don't remember, but I don't think they crossed over. They might have.
You go find that play.
I feel like if they did, Debo would have had a really good season. But either way, even though they struggle with AFC South teams, I'm going to go Denver just because it's divisional. It's the first game of the season, and Denver's defense is
It was 2011,
good.
So yeah, it wasn't.
I think 13's when Smith came in.
Who was the touchdown in 2011? Or who was the touchdown? Who was the
Matt Castle, probably?
Could have been. Hold up. I'm watching the highlight right now. I wish I could show it to you guys, but I don't want to get hit with a...
It's probably Matt Castle.
I think it is Matt Castle. Number 7. What a play. Even got a penalty. The guy was face guarding him the whole time. The juggling touchdown. Sorry you guys couldn't watch that, and I got to enjoy it by myself.
Smith and Debo played together from 2013 to 2014.
Huh. There you go.
I don't remember that at all.
I kind of thought maybe they did at one point. I just didn't think the one I was talking about was in 2011, but it was.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all, man. Hey, Mike, was it Tyler Palco out there throwing dimes, baby?
I don't know. Number 7, Tyler Palgo don't throw dimes, so probably not. Probably was Matt Castle.
It was. 100% was.
It did say year 1 of Andy Reid and John Dorsey era in 2013.
Yeah, that's right.
Alex
That's
Smith
when Alex
was
Smith
the
came in.
starter.
Yep.
Chase Daniel was the backup. Tyler Bray was third string. And Debo, Donnie Avery, McCluster, A.J. Jenkins, Junior Hemingway, and Chad Hall was the wide receivers that year. So they did play for at least 1 year, and I'm going to go ahead and take his word for it and say they probably did 2014 too.
I wonder what his stats were. What were Debo's stats? Look them up. I want to see what he did with Alex Smith. I feel like that would have been a decent pairing there.
He said he led all wide receivers, only 57 catches for 670 yards and 5 touchdowns.
That's not bad.
Not bad, not great either.
On the back end of his career, not bad.
I mean, Donnie Avery had 40 catches for 600 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he was only 15 receptions, 100 yards, and 3 scores lower. Donnie Avery. Hey, how funny is it, Donnie Avery? And who could have been like? Was A.J. Jenkins one of the worst trades that we've ever had before?
A.J.
Jeez
Jenkins.
Louise.
Wasn't long after that they went and got Jeremy Maclin, was it?
Yeah, Macklin was right in there sometime.
Yeah. Oh, well, guys, we appreciate y'all being here tonight. Do us a favor, hit that like button on the way out if you haven't already. Also, subscribe to the channel. That'd help us out. And we'd like to see us more. Come back, talk to us. Shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. Get down in the description, click that link, download Prize Picks, use code HMA, play $5, and you're going to get 50 instantly. And you can follow us on there and see what we do as well at All Chiefed Up. We'll see you guys probably Tuesday with a pod. So make sure to look out for that. Click that video, baby. We gotta get this algorithm going again, brother. We gotta get Chiefs Kingdom back in on it because after the draft, everybody went into hiding. So
They're going to hide to OTAs.
come back out, man. Let's have some fun. Let's talk football. We'll see you next time. Go Chiefs.
Get wild.